Okay, so it's Wednesday. I finished up another day of work. And what has been on my mind? Before before it becomes Throwback Thursday, I was thinking about that. Tomorrow's Thursday. So I was thinking back to when I was a younger man. We'll call it when I was 21 years old. As I was continuing my studies in psychology, I would uh, think about my emotions, not feelings, because feelings can also be physiological. I'm only talking about emotions. I personified my emotions, much like that new movie coming out from Disney called Inside of Me. Forgive me if I got the title wrong. Each emotion had a mind of its own, and they all together makes me. And there was a time when I was younger when I would bury negative emotions because they're also attached to a negative memory. And I didn't want to. I buried the memory, hence also burying the negative emotion. Sadness, anger, whatever it was. Let's go ahead and take sadness. Let's do that. I think and I believe I realized earlier on that if I were to bury emotions like that, it would come back later on and bite me in the ass. It would come back stronger than ever, and then what am I going to do with it then? I buried an emotion that was teeny tiny in the infancy, and then it came back as a full grown, the Incredible Hulk. Or we can also take the analogy of a seed. The emotion was small like a seed, so I buried it. What happens when you bury a seed? It grows up into a big, let's call it a big tree. You plant a tree seed, you get a big tree out of it. And then what do you do with it then? So I developed this earlier on, and do I want to use the word emo? I was never described as an emo person when I was younger. But I was practicing letting my emotions exist without trying to bury them. Control them, yes. Repress them, sure. But not to tuck them away and bury them deep where they come back stronger than ever and bite a bigger chunk out of my ass. When someone would make me feel bad, I let that emotion free. Not free. I continue to let that emotion stay on the surface. So one, I have to acknowledge its presence. Two, I have to work slowly to learn to cope with it. Learning to cope with the emotion, because the emotion is me. And I don't think it's a good idea for myself, and I'm hoping for any of you who are watching. I don't think it's a good idea to bury emotions, because you are burying a part of yourself. You're going to bury a part of yourself. And I have long since believed that nature is balanced. Where there is good, there is also evil. But each cannot live without the other. If there was no good, there could be no evil. If there was no evil, there can be no good. So whatever is deemed as a negative emotion, I leave it. I make sure I can cope with it. I can control it. Maybe tone it down a little, but not so much as repress and bury it. I think that would be unhealthy. Plus, it's a run and hide thing for me. That's how it makes me feel. It feels like I'm a quitter. That I'm gonna run and hide from this emotion by burying it. I don't think that's the way to go. Me personally, it's worked better for me to grow as a person if I learn to deal with my emotions, because I'm learning to deal with me. And of course, any future partner I'm gonna have is gonna have to learn. I have to learn to deal with that person's emotions too. I gotta deal with her emotions. I got to. And hopefully I can help her the way I help myself. Okay? Okay. That's what's on my mind. I'll see you later.